Hey folks, welcome back to another exciting video. Today in this video, we'll look over Joe Biden's Democratic Party's corruption being exposed by Elon Musk. They both have a rivalry going on for a long time now. So in this video, we'll take a closer look at this rivalry as well as some other interesting news. So make sure to stay tuned until the end to find out. That said, let's begin. Joe Biden is oblivious to the fact that Tesla is the leading innovator in the field of electric vehicles. Elon has taken notice, and the fight has begun to heat up. Joe Biden hosted an electric vehicle summit on August 5th that embodied his presidency's values. Executives from General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis, the parent company of Chrysler, were among those who attended the event. Elon Musk, the American leader in electric vehicles, was, however, absent. Imagine being the #1 electric vehicle manufacturer in the United States by a factor of 10 and still not being invited to an EV summit. Elon Musk seemed perplexed. "Yeah, seems odd Tesla wasn't invited," he tweeted. Isn't it possible that it was just a fluke or a coincidence? Elon Musk, on the other hand, was about to change the game with a feat that Biden couldn't deny. 4 astronauts were launched into orbit on September 15, an incredible feat for humanity. Hundreds of thousands of people tuned in to see SpaceX's on-orbit tour of the prestigious Dragon resilient spacecraft. SpaceX raised hundreds of millions of dollars for the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital with that network in mind. Despite this achievement, President Biden went on without saying anything. The President of the United States has refused to even acknowledge the 4 newest American astronauts who helped raise hundreds of millions of dollars for St. Jude. One user wrote to Elon, "What is your theory as to why this is the case? He's still sleeping," Elon said in response. This was in response to former Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's claim that Biden was sleeping during a meeting. According to Joe Biden's proposed EV deal, EV tax credits will be distributed unequally to union factories, which Tesla is not a part of. On the surface, this appears to be fine because Tesla does not require government assistance. Biden, on the other hand, not only refuses to acknowledge Tesla's achievements, but also makes decisions behind closed doors. At the EV summit, Biden claimed that Mary Barra, the CEO of General Motors, is one of the reasons why electric vehicles have progressed so far, and then went on to discuss a Zoom call that Elon was not on. Musk was clearly dissatisfied with Biden's actions, so he went on to explain how the labor unions control Biden. Although this is not a political channel and we don't endorse any political party, it's safe to say that Biden, like any other government leader, must appeal to labor unions and lobbyists. Lobbying is essentially legal bribery because lobbyists' sole purpose is to sway the opinions of public officials. Every year, legacy automakers spend millions of dollars in lobbyists. For example, in 2021, GM spent more than $7 million in lobbying. More importantly, the government has specifically spoon-fed the United Auto Workers, or UAW for short. The United Auto Workers, or UAW, is one of the largest labor unions in the United States, with a focus on assisting employees in obtaining better benefits. On the surface, this sounds fantastic, but the UAW also charges exorbitant fees. Workers must pay 1.44% of their gross pay to be a member of the UAW. A year's worth of 1.44% of a $50,000 salary is $720, which is a significant sum. So where does all of this cash end up? According to new investigations, the UAW's leaders are stealing a significant portion of the union's funds on a regular basis. So far, 16 people have been arrested, and auditors have discovered over $2 million in improper UAW expenditures. Gambling, guns, cars, and child support payments were all included in the spending, which is obviously unrelated to UAW. Elon Musk has previously spoken out against labor unions. He thinks the UAW fees are pointless because Tesla provides better benefits without them. Regardless of how unreasonable the UAW is, it wields significant power and effectively controls the government. Biden's exclusion of Elon, according to billionaire fund manager Ron Barron, who was an early Tesla investor, is completely ridiculous, especially given Elon's positive impact on the world. Politicians have recently pushed for a tax on unrealized capital gains, or gains on stocks that haven't yet been sold. Elon is a strong opponent of the proposed tax, which the Biden administration has been a vocal supporter of. Elon Musk also changed his name to Elon Musk on Twitter on Wednesday after Chechen warlord Ramzan Kadyrov mocked him. In response to Musk's tweet challenging Putin to single combat, Kadyrov, the head of Russia's Republic of Chechnya and a close ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin, took several shots at Musk on Tuesday. According to an insider translation of the warlord's Telegram post, Putin would beat Musk in a fight. He called Musk Tender Lana and compared the two men, saying that they were in two completely different weight classes. According to an insider translation, he described Putin as a world politician, strategist, and a nemesis of the West and the United States, while describing Musk as a businessman and a Twitter blogger. Musk posted a screenshot of Kadyrov's post, which included recommendations for places in Chechnya where Musk could be trained to transform from Ilana to brutal Elon. Musk responded to the post by reiterating his challenge to Putin, claiming that the training would provide him too much of an advantage. The billionaire changed his name on Twitter to Kadyrov's nickname for him and signed his tweet Ilana. Ilana is a female name in Russia. Ilana appears to be a feminine form of Musk's first name. And Kadyrov appears to be implying that Musk lacks the masculinity to face Putin. Kadyrov is widely regarded as one of Putin's most ardent supporters. The semi-autonomous Chechen Republic, which Putin handed over to Kadyrov in 2011, is notorious for crimes against LGBTQ people and for forcing underage girls to marry. In a 2017 interview with an HBO reporter, the warlord claimed that the Chechen Republic had no LGBTQ people, and that if it did, the country would purify her blood. Kadyrov has been accused of supporting the widespread use of torture, enforced disappearances, and extrajudicial killings of LGBTQ people on numerous occasions. Musk's mother, May Musk, retweeted a picture of Musk in female form in response to the warlord's slam on Twitter. May Musk wrote, "You're so pretty, Ilana." Putin's ally Kadyrov isn't the only one to criticize Elon Musk. Dmitry Rogozin, Russia's space chief, and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk have had a Twitter feud. Musk has proposed SpaceX as a solution to the Roscosmos chief's threats to cut off Russia's support for the International Space Station. Musk has been vocal about his support for Ukraine on Twitter. Tesla offered to pay 3 months' salary to Ukrainian employees asked to return home to fight Russia, according to CNBC. He has provided Ukraine with internet by launching satellite Starlink systems, and CNBC reported that Tesla offered to pay 3 months' salary to Ukrainian employees asked to return home to fight Russia. Furthermore, in 2016, SpaceX's founder revealed his ambitious projects to establish a metropolis on Mars. At the time, Musk hoped to launch a crewed mission to our neighboring planet as soon as 2024. The company has made considerable progress in the development of its Mars rocket since then, but not fast enough to meet the original deadline. Musk said on Twitter on Wednesday that the earliest humans will set foot on Mars will be in 2029. It'll be the 60th anniversary of the first lunar landing, which took place in 1969. As recently as December 2020, Musk was aiming for 2026. The Starship, which SpaceX is developing for NASA to transport astronauts to the Moon and eventually Mars, has finalized some successful high-altitude flights but has not yet reached space. Long-distance travel to and from Mars will require a Starship, which could take up to 9 months each way. Musk intends to build about 40 cabins in the cargo area near the upper stage's front. The payload bay would contain common areas, storage space, a galley, and a shelter to safeguard passengers from solar storms, which occur when the sun blurts hazardous charged particles into space. Starship will also be used by NASA's Artemis mission, which seeks to establish a long-term human presence on the Moon. In April 2021, NASA awarded SpaceX a $2.89 billion contract to develop Starship into a lander capable of sending astronauts to the Moon by the end of the decade. Over the last 2 years, Musk has made noise about how federal launch constraints are obstructing the process of getting to Mars, and he lately threatened to declare bankruptcy if SpaceX can't build the Starship's Raptor engines faster. Going to Mars, unsurprisingly, necessitates extensive planning. As they orbit the Sun, Mars and Earth get closer before drifting further apart. Taking advantage of the shortest distance between the two worlds necessitates launching within specific timeframes. Later this year, late 2024, late 2026, and late 2028 or early 2029 are the best Mars launch windows for this decade. Musk's initial goals appear to have been unrealistically high. If his deadline slips even further into the 2030s, NASA will be closer to achieving its goal of sending the first astronauts to Mars. So that was all for today's video, folks. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Also, let's know your thoughts on the Elon versus Biden rivalry in the comment section.